If you had told me while sitting in pre-dawn border traffic that my full-time job would eventually be sketching flowers, folding paper, and hand-stamping envelopes, I wouldn't have believed you. Hi, I'm Rhea. I'm the artist behind Twin Paper Studio. Almost 3 years ago, in my 40s, I made a scary, incredible decision to resign from corporate life after years on the daily commute between Malaysia and Singapore. Today, while I assemble my July Snail Mail collection, I want to talk about what happens when you decide to step off the expected path and why it's never too late to find your way back to your creative spark. For a really long time, my life ran on a completely different track. One built around border checkpoints, strict schedules, and corporate routines. I worked in customer service, living in Malaysia and making that daily commute across the causeway into Singapore every single morning. If you've ever lived that life, you know what it takes out of you. The early alarms, the hours spent sitting in static border traffic, the endless mental stress of shifts, errands, and energy. It was a stable job. It paid the bills, it gave me security, and I was genuinely thankful for the solid ground beneath my feet. But behind all that routine, a part of me was slowly going silent. When the stack of responsibilities gets too tall, your creative side always seems to get pushed to the very back of the closet. Practical things demand your attention first. The long shift, the housework, the endless list of taking care of everyone else before yourself. Before you even notice the drift, the things that used to make your heart light up get locked behind two words: one day. It took me years to realize the hard truth of it. One day never just shows up on your calendar. You have to build it yourself, right in the middle of a busy, imperfect life. When I reached my 40s, a tiny feeling started creeping back in. I didn't wake up one morning with a perfect blueprint for my life. It was just a stubborn curiosity that wouldn't leave me alone. A voice asking, "What if you tried drawing again?" So, after years away from any real creative practice, I picked up my iPad and started sketching. A stray flower here, a quick botanical illustration after a long day. Simple pieces that meant nothing to the rest of the world. And yet, watching those digital sketches turn into real physical prints, watching the colors come alive on paper for this July theme, felt like taking a deep breath of fresh air after holding my chest tight for years. It brought back a side of myself I had almost forgotten. The person who loved imagination, who loved gentle colors, and who just wanted to make something beautiful with her own hands. Scraps of drawings slowly grew into something more tangible. Simple sketches became stickers, bookmarks followed, and almost 3 years ago, I finally left my corporate life and Twin Paper Studio became my full reality. Putting together a fresh run of snail mail every month, packing each layer, stamping details, tying strings is deeply rewarding. But if I'm being completely honest with you, leaving security to start a business from scratch in your 40s is terrifying. It's so easy to look sideways. You see people online in their 20s who started years ago, running miles ahead with so much momentum. The old doubts always know how to show up when it gets quiet. Am I too late for this? Shouldn't I have done this years ago? Does it make sense to put so much heart into paper goods now? What I've learned though is that we aren't all running the exact same race. Someone starting at 20 has their own story, and someone starting at 40 has theirs. All those years of working hard, commuting, and taking care of life don't mean you lost time. They give your story and the things you make a completely different kind of depth and heart. When I sit at my desk now to finish up a batch like this July set, as I pack them, hand stamp details, they are not just items to ship out. They are an anchor. They're physical proof that your dreams don't carry an expiration date just because you got older. Proof that quiet reinvention belongs to anyone brave enough to reach out for it. That realization is the exact reason I created Bloom Anyway, which is the theme for this July Snail Mail. I know how many women carry this exact same weight. Women who spent years keeping the wheels turning for everyone else, putting their own creative side on a shelf, convinced that their life has already passed. Life moves in different seasons. Some seasons are for holding things together and taking care of responsibilities, but other seasons are for coming back home to yourself. If you're watching this right now and standing on the edge of a new idea, convinced you've missed your window or that you're starting too late, I hope you know with absolute certainty that you are not alone. You're not too old, you're still growing. Looking back now, I don't think I started creating because I wanted to sell stickers. I think I started because I wanted to find my way back to myself. So if you're watching this and you've been carrying a dream for years, maybe this is your sign to pick it up again. Not because you're trying to catch up with anyone else, but because your story is still being written. And maybe your best chapter begins in your 40s. Thank you for letting me share a little piece of mine. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep creating and bloom anyway.